Hello everyone and welcome. Today we're going to be checking out a new game. It's called Banished. This is relatively new. It just came out, as you can see. It is a copyright 2014 down here at the bottom of the screen. So it's at version 1, or actually version 10, my bad. So it's a relatively new game. I just recently picked this up not too long ago. Actually a couple days ago. So just go ahead and take a look at it and play it a bit. I have played 2 games already in here. The first one I failed miserably because I really didn't know what I was doing. And the second one you can see here in the background actually. This is actually the game that I was playing for my second game. You can see these are all houses over here. Here's my storage pile. I have 2 woodcutters, tailor, a blacksmith, a school, my storage barn, some more housing, and then I have a cattle pasture here. Then over here somewhere I have a forester, and back here's a forester. But we'll get more into details about that later. For now, we're going to go ahead and start up a new game. For city name, you can either type in your own city name, or you can continuously click this until you find one that you like. We'll go a couple more and see if we can't find something. No, these are looking too good. Wow, these are actually pretty terrible. Zionsville. And we'll add vid at the end of that. Just so I know that this is my video one. Also, we'll go ahead and generate a random map here. That looks good. We're going to play on mountains. Definitely large. Climate is definitely one. We'll go mild. I have played one with mild, one with fair. Mild's probably the best. Disasters, we're going to leave those off. Just because I'm kind of newer to the game and I still haven't really got the whole hang of it. In starting conditions, we're going to go easy. The first one I went hard, and it just no. And the second one I went medium, and I did pretty good on the second one with the medium. But I think for this purpose, we're going to go easy, just so I can, kind of show the game to you guys, as opposed to focus too much on actually having to play it. There's a lot of things about this game you have to remember. There are 2 main needs. You'll find out very, very quickly. Your 2 main needs are your citizens need food and they need firewood. Firewood to keep warm in the winters and stuff. And pretty much all throughout the year they use firewood. They consume it like crazy. So if you let them get too cold, they'll eventually die from the cold. Or on the other hand, if you let them get too hungry, they'll die of starvation. And that's what happened in my last game. I pretty much lost most of my population due to starvation because they all decided to have children at one time, and having children all at one time does not work. Let's see, what kind of seed do we have here? Not too bad, actually. Not too bad. First thing we're going to want to do is go in here to options, audio, turn this crap down a little bit. Actually, that didn't really seem like I did much of nothing. Jack that down to about 50%. First thing we're going to do is we're going to build a little cow pasture, cow pen thing here. We're going to jack the game speed up to a little. I'm going to leave the game speed at 1 for now until we get a few things done. So we're going to go in here, go to our food, which is our apple, go to our cows, we're going to get a pasture. We're going to put it put it right here. In this area, sorta. Can go 15 by 20, I believe, is the maximum. And I don't think that placed. Yes, it did. Okay. So there's the cow pasture. So you'll see, for the cow pasture to be built, we have to have 67 trees removed. You have to have 66 logs delivered here, and then it takes 66 build time. So we're going to go ahead and add 2 people to our building workforce. One thing we're going to probably leave up in the corner here is our professions tab. This pretty much shows we have 10 workers right now, and this is what we can all assign them to. This is what's required for each profession. So you'll see every profession requires 0 people, except for builder requires 2, and we have 2. So that works out there. For that, we're going to go ahead and jack, I lied. Not going to jack game speed up yet. I keep getting ahead of myself. We'll eventually get there. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to build a crop field. I'm not sure where the best place to put this is. That dead ends there. Okay. So maybe we'll go just on the other side of this. Crop field is too large. Maximum for a crop field is, I believe, 15 by 15. So we'll drop a crop field there. They have 35 items that they have to remove from there before they can start planting crops. Also, once that gets up there, we'll need some farmers and stuff. But for now, we're going to jack this up to game speed 10. I'm also going to go back in here to options and turn this stuff way down. I'm sorry, I didn't know this was really going to be that loud. It didn't seem that loud before when I played it, but now it seems like extremely loud. Man, why does it seem like even though I keep turning this down, it's just not doing anything? So you'll notice right now it's raining. Kind of annoying, but that's what it happens all the time. Next thing we're going to build is we're going to go into resources, which is your tree and your rock, and we're going to build a woodcutter. We'll put the woodcutter just on the other side of our stockpile here. What the woodcutter does is his job is to primarily pretty much make firewood for the city. Usually one is pretty good for a little while, and then once you get into stuff it starts to require more than one. Storage for logs, stone, and iron is nearly at full capacity. Well, that should change pretty quick, as it normally does. Okay, they're getting that taken care of. So that's pretty good there. I'm going to go ahead and drop 2 herdsmen, because I know that's what's required to take care of cows. Cows are pretty good. They give you leather. They also produce meat, so you can use the meat for food and the leather. You can eventually make a tailor, and you will produce leather coats for them. So that's pretty good there. Also, something else we're going to do is we're going to pin our storage barn in the corner. We're also going to pin our stockpile up here at the top. That way we just have an overview of what's going on, so I know what to do and what to take care of. There's our pin. We're going to set our pasture for cattle. We have enough space for 15 cows, so I think we're going to go ahead and keep 15 cows. Actually, I lied. We're probably going to go ahead and bump this down to about 10. So we'll keep 10 cows. Anything over 10 cows will get slaughtered, sent for meat and leather. This field's almost done over here, so that's pretty good there. Storage is 100% full, so we're going to need to take care of that. After that, we go to our barn. We go to our little stack here, which is our stockpile, and we can just build a Well, actually, here's how we're gonna do this. I do this this way usually. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start out over here. I'm gonna build a rather large stockpile over there. Then what I'll do is I'll tell them to demolish this stockpile. So what they'll do is they'll take everything out of this stockpile, put it into this stockpile, and then we can increase the size of this one. So we really only have to deal with one stockpile as opposed to multiple. Next, we're going to go for farming. We have peppers and wheat. I think we're going to start with peppers. We're going to go 4 people onto the field, because 4, well, you can max that out more than that, but 4 is usually, I found, a pretty good number to keep a 15 by 15 field harvested and upkeep before winter, so you get all your harvest in. Next, we're going to go ahead and get some dirt road. We're going to start our town roads here. We'll start out with dirt, maybe eventually expand to stone once we get some stone. For the time being, we're going to go ahead and clear out all this stone here, and clear out the stone behind us. We're also going to go ahead and clear out the iron that's back there that I see. So we'll go ahead and take care of that. No problem there. We got a few houses and stuff that are in positions I don't particularly care for. So we're going to go ahead and take care of those. I did place that house correctly. So for the purpose of that, we're going to build that house there. We're going to take this house out for sure, because that's in the middle of nowhere. This house is also going to go, because I do not like the position of that. So those will get taken down. We have 4 extra workers. We're just going to go ahead and bump those 4 for right now into builders. Actually, I lied. We're going to bump 3 of those to builders, 1 to a woodcutter. There goes the stockpile. Once we get some things taken care of here, we'll rebuild the stockpile. We're also going to extend this dirt road out like this for the time being, so I can figure out what the heck's going on there. Also going to go for trees and clear out this area here. That way I just have some space to work and have some clear land. So eventually I'll get to that. Now we have people complaining they don't have a house, which is understandable because I did take down a few homes. Now that's going to have to change. This house is going to have to go too, just because it's built sideways and it's not going to work out for me. Being built sideways, you take up a lot more space than you really should for that house, so I'll go ahead and wipe that out for right now. Production limit has been reached. Okay. Apparently there is 200 firewood or more stored up, so that's pretty good there. He's keeping up. Good for him. Now, we're going to move the stockpile to right here. 10 by... I want to run a 10 by 10, but I can't because the house is in the way again. So, wrong button. Get that house out of the way. We have people complaining of not having enough food. I don't see why there's not enough food. We're also going to go ahead and throw down an orchard. Orchard should be able to fit right here. We'll just do a relatively small orchard. Drop a builder. Throw a farmer. Wish the people would get on these houses. I want to get these houses taken down so I can get them rebuilt up. Not really sure how this house is positioned either. Not sure I particularly care for that one. Throw that house down right there. That house I think is going to have to move too. It's nice that they start you out with houses already built, but they put some terrible, terrible houses. They're just in god-awful positions. I just don't like them. Alright, so they got that house down. Good. Next we're going stockpile. Stockpile. Thank you. 10 by 10. Oops, it's 10 by 10. There. This is going away, so we'll put everything in that 10 by 10 stockpile, which is what we want. Then we'll put that stockpile up there at the top so we can keep an eye on that. Firewood, we're going to increase the limit to 500, just because you notice how fast the firewood we did have went away. Orchard, what do we got? Peaches and walnuts. We're going to grow peaches. So we got one worker there, which should be fine because it's relatively small little orchard. So one worker should be able to take care of it. Next, we are going to... We have one extra labor. We're going to go for a forester next. Now, for forester, we need to find a good location. Right here. Looks fine. We're going to go into our resource production. Grab a forester lodge. Yeah, that looks good. We should be able to handle that pretty well. Put down the forester lodge. Now what a forester is going to do is he's going to automatically plant and replant all the trees in this area here. So he's going to plant them, cut them down, replant them, cut them down, replant them, back and forth. So he'll be a steady production of wood once he gets going, wherever he's at, which will take him a little bit, but he'll get going. We can drop 2 people off of that resource there. We have 3 workers now, so we're going to need to do something about that. We're going to need another farm very quickly. We're going to go with that right here. This is going to be a much smaller farm, but it'll do its job. We just got to get 21 rocks, it looks like, out of the way, a couple trees, so that should be good there. Next we want to go back for homes. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Drop 1 and drop 2. Rotate and drop 1 and drop 2. Now, the thing with homes depend on your population, very much so. What happens is you'll notice that there are children in these houses. If you don't have other housing, the children won't actually, once they grow up, they'll just stay in this house. They won't actually move out to mate with another person. Pretty much to get more people, what'll happen is, say this child here will go ahead and mate with another child of the opposite sex, with like this child here. So those two will mate, and then they'll move into, say, this house here, and then they'll eventually produce children of their own. Thing about that is that you have to be very careful, because if you increase your population too quickly, you don't increase your resources, you're pretty much screwed, and you end up running out of firewood, and you run out of food, and then you're in trouble. would definitely take that from previous experience. Not too fun. We're going to throw the rest of these workers here into the farmer profession because we're going to want to probably run four workers on here, maybe 3. I think we'll run 3 for now. And we're going to grow wheat here because we're already growing peppers, so we want a little bit of variety just to make them happy. Also, we have this harvest button, so if, like right now, we're completely out of food, so we're going to go ahead and pull the harvest early so we have food, just because everybody is starving. And you'll notice, child has died, farmer has died of starvation, farmer has died of starvation, and builder has died of starvation. So we're having food issues already, and you'll notice not much I can do about that. We have 9 of 10 cows. Okay. Another laborer. I'll make you a farmer for sure. Why is there so many people look like they're working over there? People should be harvesting this field. We get food so people would stop dying. We're at 110 peppers, so that's not too bad. Iron, stones, not looking too bad. Logs are absolutely terrible right now. Forester shack is being produced, and as you can see here, we've pretty much lost half of our freaking population to starvation, which I don't understand how you can run out of food so freaking quick. It's absolutely ridiculous. We lost another one. We are just losing them left and right to starvation. We have one farmer working on this field. So if I'd rather have one farmer in this field, we're actually just gonna cancel that field for right now. So pretty much what I did is I stopped production on this field so nobody will work here. It'll automatically send the other jobs over to this field so we can work on this one. We definitely want to make sure we get these peppers all in before winter comes, which is about to hit very quickly. People are dying of starvation, starvation, starvation. We're trying to bring in food. It's a nice little lake here. That will be very useful. Or river, I mean, lake, is what I'm thinking. Rotate that around. We'll put... We'll do... Actually, we'll run it like... that right there. Looks good. A little bit of a road. More people dying of starvation. Dang. So we're just collecting up the logs now and the stone needed. There's only one builder, unfortunately. Down to 2 farmers. Winter has hit, so we're pretty much in trouble. We do have 155 beef now, so that's looking good. Yes, we know the reserve of food is low. Thank you. Move all resources. We're going to go ahead and gather up all these little stumps and roots and mushrooms and such. I think those pretty much can be used as like food and such, so we'll go ahead and grab all them and store those up. We're working. We're getting there. Just gotta wait for a builder to build this. I don't know where she is at. There she is. Putting it together. So we're 59%. 60. Okay, so whatever. So you'll get that done here quickly. Problem is we don't have any people to work there. So that's quite rather annoying. What we are going to do is, what is it? Tailor miner, technician, fisherman. What we're going to do is we're going to take our woodcutter and we're going to, since we're up to 500 and something wood, or firewood right now, we're going to make our woodcutter a magic fisherman for the time being. So he's going to go ahead and run out there, and he should start bringing in a little bit of fish for us. Fish is not exactly the greatest thing. Income for food, but some fish will definitely help. Iron 80 iron. Okay. Let's go ahead and rip this iron out of here. That'll help out a bit there. Child 3, child 9. Child 9 and 4, that's good. Child 2, Child 9, so that's good. So we're going to be getting a couple workers here soon, it looks like, which is good. I don't know what the age is for a child to become a laborer. They eventually hit a certain age and then they become an adult, and then if you look at your log here, it'll tell you, see, they're adults and they become laborers, so you get 3 of them. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw one there, and then for firewood. We're good for firewood for right now. Farmer. Always good, farmer. For that, we don't need a builder right now because we're not building anything, so we'll throw another farmer in. So then that should take over the orchard, and we should start getting some peaches. And it's really all based on, for growing stuff and for cattle and stuff, it's really all based on what you get when you start the game. Depending on what mode you start in, you get different amounts of things. You also get different varieties. This is the first time I've ever had peaches. My other game I have cherries and apples. This one I have peaches and walnuts. This one I have peppers and wheat. My other one I have wheat and cabbage. So it's really all just a matter of what they give you. It's pretty much all random. I guess it's mostly based on what map seed you get, what you end up with. Firewood looks good for now. Once we get this food situation starting to get taken care of, then I think we're going to go for a mine. And start getting some iron in. And then once we get the iron in, we're going to have to go for a blacksmith real quick. Because we're down to 17 tools, and if they run out of tools, well, that's pretty much game over. Okay, you're at 96% yield, 94. Okay, so you're starting to bring it in. That's good, because we could really use that. Trees have not grown enough to start harvesting peaches from them, but that's okay. You have 4 farmers, so you should be able to pull it in pretty quick. Looks like you are. So that's not bad there. It's mostly just in the beginning. It's a lot of pretty much sit and wait. You just have to wait. Wait for food to get built up. Wait for, you know, your wood and stone and stuff to kind of slowly gather up. And, you know, you just have to clear out the areas around you. Pretty much it. Not much else you can do. Reason we don't have much meat coming in is because we only have one herdsman working here. I don't have a second one to put there, so that's a little bit of an issue. Maybe the next worker I think we get we're going to stick in here. Why do we have 11 of 10 cows? Time for one to get slaughtered. I don't think you actually see a cow end up getting slaughtered. I think they just do it, and then you usually see, like, somewhere around the outside edge, you see a little slab of beef and a slab of leather, so you know that a cow got recently slaughtered. And you'll notice, farmers, if you have laborers, and the laborers don't have an assigned job, what they do is they pretty much perform easy work like it says. They move goods from place to place. They pretty much cut down trees, remove rocks, stuff like that that you tell them to do. And you'll notice in the winter when the farmers can't farm, they pretty much automatically become laborers, and then they do their own thing, and then once it becomes spring and they can start farming again, they run over and they start planting their stuff, and then, yeah. So that's that. Let's go ahead and grab this, collect stone, get this stone out of here. Let's also get this bit of stone there. And stone over there. A lot of iron back there, it looks like. So that's pretty good. Firewood's still at 416, so definitely good on that for the winter. I'm glad I got that reserve up pretty high right away. That way I don't have to worry about putting a woodcutter in or anything like that. Also, 432 fish this season, so that's pretty good there. What are we looking at for beef? 220 beef, 4 leather so far this year, and last year they had 12 leather and 400 beef, so that's pretty good. Crop, we brought in about 1,000, little over 1,000 peppers. The year before we brought in 1,300 peppers. Makes sense why this season was down a bit, because I did have some people die that were working there, so it cut production down a bit. So that definitely is understandable. I do have my forester up and running out there, but I don't have workers for it right now. What I'll do, I will put people in there pretty quickly, because these logs will start to run out over time because of the whole firewood situation there. Just something I usually watch is you watch your houses here. You build up quite a few, and then once they start to get full, you kind of watch, and then you add a house here and a house there. You want to make sure your houses are all full before you start making new ones. That way you don't randomly have a mass increase in population, because that will definitely kill you very quickly. It's nice for getting in some food, some leather. Looking pretty good there. Next we're going to go with resource production. I'm going to go with a blacksmith, I believe. No, I don't. I'll do this. We'll put him sideways like that, take up less space. And just stick a road in between him. Then we'll drop a farmer, throw up a builder real fast, drop a fisherman, and then we'll drop a farmer. I should have dropped a fisherman instead of a farmer, because it is getting time to start planting and growing things again, so I'd rather have the farmer as opposed to the fisherman, if that makes any sense to you. Food limit we're going to increase to 6,000. Not like it really matters, we're never going to get 6,000 food. That's just crazy. So we should have 4 workers there still, 1 there. We're good. We don't have a firewood person right now. We may, during the next winter, I think we're going to go ahead and drop a farmer and make him a woodcutter for the time being, just to get that stock back up again, and then we won't worry about it. Also, trees back here look like they're growing in again, so let's go ahead and clean them out. Also, we'll just take out everything pretty much back here. This little section, we will go ahead and clean everything out. So there's a clean everything out, which removes every resource from that area. There's a tree only, there's a stone only, there's an iron only. There is no root and like root and berry thing, but if you use the collect all, it'll get all the roots and berries too. Also, all this pile of stuff here. Looks like iron. But I'm going to go ahead and get that taken care of. Tools we're down to 13. So once this blacksmith gets up and running, we're going to go ahead and take care of the tools there. We'll probably make the builder the blacksmith once we get that taken care of. We have 2 laborers, one's a fisherman, and blacksmith. One will be the blacksmith. Excuse me. I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit here tonight. Cool. Orchard's almost up there. They're at 94%, so I'll just let him go. He'll do his own thing. I usually don't force the orchard down because the orchard takes so long to grow. I usually don't harvest that immediately. And also with fields, I usually don't immediate harvest them unless we're in dire need of food, and it's at least 80. It's at least like 60-70%. Then I'll do that. That blacksmith, that's supposed to be the blacksmith, I think, but I think he's slightly confused on what he's doing, so, yeah. Should have a blacksmith now. There he goes. What the blacksmith does is he makes tools. He can make iron tools or steel tools. Steel tools are obviously going to last longer than iron tools. But to get the iron or the steel tools, you need logs, iron, and coal. And coal is not something we're going to get for a very long time, for obvious reasons. Just swipe all that iron back there. I also got to keep up on my logs because before I had a problem where I couldn't keep enough income of logs coming in, and then I started to get down on firewood and I couldn't pick it back up. That builder is going to go woodcutter right now, and we're going to start getting some more of this firewood built up. Now, I'm not honestly sure what the whole thing about the children is and such. Because I know before, like, I understand, like, I guess 17 years old and 11 years old, I guess you can start working. I don't know if it's like 10, maybe, is their age. Because I know, like, 9, 10-year-olds, you know, back in olden times would do things. Yeah, granted they wouldn't do hard labor and things, but they could do things like, you could have a 10-year-old, you know, they would go fish for fun. But I'm sure you could have them go fish and get some food or something. I mean, it's stuff like that I don't see. And they could also, I don't really see a 9 or 10-year-old cutting down a tree or mining a rock or something. That's just not, you know, it's crazy. But I could see a 9 or 10-year-old fishing, or I could see them working on a farm maybe. You know, doing light stuff, just picking things. I could see that. Because I know I'm sure a lot of, like, little kids help their parents, you know, out on the farm picking vegetables and things. You know, that's just stuff that happens. We got an extra worker. I think we're going to make a forester. We're going to start forestry. Get this thing over here running. Now what he'll do is over time, he'll clean all this iron and stone out of here, out of his little circle. The log limit is 200. The log limit is 300. Let's stop. Okay, so anyway. What he's eventually going to do is, out of his little circle here, he's eventually going to clean all this stone and iron out of here, and keep this up with trees over time. So that'll be cool. He'll not really do much until you get 4 people. Once you get 4 people over there, that starts to run really efficiently. But otherwise, it's kind of lax a bit. I also just close this, and I don't want to. I usually leave these 3 screens open, 1 so I can see when I have new laborers come in, 2 so I can keep an eye on my stockpile of resources through both buildings and such. Peppers, we're gaining peppers. That's good. I like to see gaining peppers. All of our houses are full. Ooh, wrong button. Hit the R there. Spin you around. Where is it? 1 house more. The road. Then we're going to start leading the road out that way, I think, for now. We don't have a builder, so we'll drop a forester because he's not doing anything anyway, because we're over 300 logs. Iron. Who's got the iron? Has died of starvation. How did somebody die of starvation? Please explain to me how somebody died of starvation. There's 1,000 peppers, 42 peaches, and 20 pieces of fish, and you don't have food? This home has 100 peppers, 10 beef, 58 peaches, and 13 fish. This house has 79 peppers, 29 fish, 82 peaches, and 61 beef. I mean, every single house I'm looking at has a quite adequate stock of food, so I don't really see what they're complaining about. Also, if they don't have an adequate stock of food, there's a storage barn 5 feet from their house that they can go pick up some. Sorry, that makes me a little mad that I lost a worker because of starvation when I don't understand how I did. Whatever. So I guess we're going to make our builder now, the herdsman. Just trying to keep up with stuff. Tool limit 50. You hit the limit. Congratulations. Now it is your turn to get forestry going. There. We'll keep an eye out for the blacksmith. Once the tools get down to like 20 or so, then I'll run a blacksmith back. But we don't really need a full-time blacksmith right now. Also, we're starting to pick up over there on the firewood, which is good. He's got about 50 more to go, and then he'll cap out. So I'm not sure if we're going to need to make him a full-time woodcutter now, or if we're still good enough we don't need to make full-time. And then, now what happens here is that with houses, there's 2 different kinds of houses. You have a stone house and a wooden house. Obviously the wooden house gives them a place to live, eat, store food, and stay warm. Stone house pretty much does the same, but it provides more warmth than a wooden house. So you consume a little bit less firewood, from what I've gathered by making stone houses, but then they also cost quite a bit more. It runs you 10 iron, 40 stone, and 24 wood, as opposed to 16 wood and 8 stone. Also, you have these boarding houses, which is temporary place to live for people. I don't really know. I've never built a boarding house, so I don't really know what that does. We'll go ahead and take away a woodcutter. You got 2 laborers. One's going to be a herdsman, and one's going to be a forester. So we're starting to keep up with the food production now, so that's really good. Also, you'll notice every single one of these houses is officially up and running. They're all doing good, so that's fantastic to see. We'll put in a road, but it's not going to get built because we don't have a builder, so... There's some more beef and leather coming in. Hide coats, 3. That's not good. I didn't pay any attention to that. We need a tailor. Oh, I don't want to put that there because it's a mountain. Nope. Nope. Tailor. There. I also don't want to cover up this whole watershed area because I may eventually want to put more fishing docks, because this looks like a very nice little coast for fishing docks there, so we may eventually want more of those once we get higher population. Let's see. What is this? Is this iron? I don't know if that's iron or not. I don't think it is. What else do we got on this island here that we can gather? We'll make a specific effort to push for getting that iron out of there, because we're running low on iron. We're down to 45. That guy is freezing cold, and he needs food. Well, there you go. Now the thing is, if you don't watch, and you know, granted, yes, this is pretty far away from his house, for these two loggers. So you have to keep that in mind also. If you leave them too far from their house, sometimes if they get hungry out there or whatever, I have seen them starve on the way back home, so that's a little annoying, but not much you can do about it. I think for now we're going to drop a forester and we're going to make a builder out of him. That way we can just get this road taken care of and we can start to get the tailor up and running, because we are totally out of coats. Herdsman has died of starvation. How did a herdsman die of starvation? The herdsman lives 5 feet from his house. How did he not make it back in time to get food? Sometimes I don't understand things about this game. Builder? Builder? I'm not really sure why the builder's not really doing anything, but okay. Yeah, we'll leave peppers. I was thinking about changing that out, but not really peppers. You'll notice we got 5% now on our peach trees. Again, so that's good. Those are still cracking up. Firewood, we're gonna have to put you into wood cutting. Get our firewood stack back up before winter hits again. Not too sure what our builder's actually doing. I'm not sure. Supposed to be building this, but I have no idea where he and or she is. And or what they're doing. Looks like the lady's over there now, but doesn't seem like anything's getting done. There is 16 iron, there's definitely 48 stone, and there's definitely 32 logs. So why are you not building this building? It says you're working on it. It says number of citizens assigned to this location is 1. Kind of a bit annoying, man. Now, with this game, and I don't know how everybody feels about it, I'm one that likes a good city building game like this, so I really enjoy this. But what I think there should be is I think they should have added a combat type feature to it. Maybe make it one of your selections for your map. You know, if you want to play a nice, peaceful, quiet map, then have combat off. But if you want to be one to, be in a city like this and have to build up an army to fend off, like, intruders or whatever, or natives or anything like that, I think they should give you an option for that. So you could turn that on, and then you have options like you build like a barracks, or and like your blacksmith, you could make them, or like a weaponsmith or whatever, make them build weapons, and then you have like a barracks where you know, would train your troops up or whatever, and then you just kind of assign people to that profession. So I think that would be kind of cool, but obviously that's not really an option. So, oops, wrong guy. Um, Blacksmith. Blacksmith looks good. We'll make you a forester for now. Food looks pretty good. Wood production is sitting at 500, so that's really good. There, logs are slowly coming in. They're keeping up pretty much that 300 quota for the most part. Stone, nothing really coming in because we don't really have a stone thing yet. So yeah. The thing with stone mining is, I'll show you here, is it's this giant thing here. It's a quarry. Now what it does is it costs you 40 iron and 80 wood to make it, and once you place it, you can't remove it. So pretty much you find a spot for it. It takes quite a long time for it to empty out anyway. But pretty much you find a spot for it, and that's it. It's stuck where you put it. So that's pretty much that. For now, we're going to jack another blacksmith in because we're down to 34 tools, but we have that extra labor, so I think I'd rather get him building, or get him keeping up the production of tools, just so we don't run out. Town services. I think we're going to put a schoolhouse in here in a minute. Reason being for a school is what it'll do is it'll make the children more productive when they become a citizen and a work labor force. They'll become way more productive in what they do. So that's good. I guess we'll go ahead and put one down. I'm not sure where I'm going to put it there. So we'll throw it down right there. Our builder will eventually get to that if they ever get this taken care of. Now I may be wrong, but I don't see why you require why you wanted 3 builders to build this. Obviously, you only have 1, and you're only going to get 1, but I don't necessarily see why 3 builders are needed. I guess because it does have a build level of 80, so you have to build 80. I don't know. Blacksmith is full, so we'll drop you. And we will put you as a fisherman for now. I'll eventually drop you from a fisherman to become a tailor. But for now. Also notice our storage barn is 72% full. I think once it hits like 80, we're going to put a second storage barn next to it. That's why we left this space open, hopefully. That'll work out. Tailor. Now we have a tailor. You'll notice we have hide coats, wool coats, leather, or warm coats. Hide coats is made from your leather from your cows. If you do end up with sheep, which I don't know where the heck you get sheep. I've played, like I said, 3 games and I haven't had sheep yet. And I don't see, like, wild sheep on the map that you can get or anything like that either. Pretty much what they give you when you start. So I've never seen sheep. So I don't know how you get that. And apparently I guess there's probably some kind of map seed where you can get both of them. So that would be pretty sweet to eventually find. I may eventually one day go through and just load up a bunch of seeds and just see if I can't find a really nice one that's got sheep and cows on it. Also, you'll notice there's all kinds of deer running around. I could put a hunter down and try to get rid of some of these deer. Also get some food from that, but I have chose not to, just because I don't really have the people to do it. And as opposed to a hunter, hunter's not guaranteed food, because you never know where the deer are going to be, because they could be here one minute, and the next minute they could be way down there, so they could end up out of the hunter's circle. So that's something to keep in mind. Also, I know that a field is pretty much guaranteed to bring me in food, and I'd rather have people working at a field or an orchard as opposed to out trying to kill deer. Although they do bring in good meat, and I do think they might also produce leather. I don't know that for sure. Firewood's down to 270. Once it hits 200, I'll probably jack somebody for that purpose. Also, we have the schoolhouse, so we could put a teacher in there, but we don't really. We have a builder. Teacher. So we can see if we can educate a couple of kids. I don't know. Our housing looks to be pretty full. Whoa. Whoa. That one's full house. And houses stone. This time we're going to build a stone house. Just because I'd like to eventually upgrade to stone houses. You can upgrade these to stone just by coming here and clicking this. What it'll do is it'll tear down the house, keep some of the resources from it, and then it'll rebuild the stone house in its position. We don't really have a builder right now, so we're going to jack a fish and make him a builder. Just because we look like we're doing okay for food. From what I gathered, I guess people get happier if they have a variety of food, like beef, peppers, and fish to eat, as opposed to like 4,000 peppers. I don't think they would be too happy about 4,000 peppers. I know I wouldn't be too happy if all I had to eat was just peppers. I like a variety of foods. So, yeah. Alright, I think for now we're going to go ahead and end this episode. I'm sure this is pretty long. I don't know exactly how long, but I'm sure it's pretty long. So this is pretty much just the basics of what this game looks like. It's a pretty nice game, great city building game, really kind of difficult in a way to balance your strategy of making sure you have enough workers, but making sure you don't get too many workers that you don't have enough food and clothing and stuff for them. So that's something to keep in mind there. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Remember, please leave a like below. Also leave a comment. Let me know what you think of this game. Also, please subscribe and stay tuned for more great videos. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later.